Good morning and welcome to another episode of Morning Mobility with NATEFIT, where we spend 15 minutes helping you create a movement habit. Today, we're going to focus on the spines. We're going to go through most of the movements of our spine. We're going to start off in this position. We're going to do our thoracic spine cars. This can be done seated in a chair. You can put something under your hips if it's uncomfortable on the ankles. So we're going to start off hands on the shoulders. First off, going into flexion. So we're going to pull that rib cage down. Then we're going to rotate, turning our shoulders to the side, nice and slow, dropping the shoulder down, and then extending up, flaring that rib cage, nice and slow, rotating the other direction, dropping that elbow down to the hip, and coming back around in front. We'll come back to neutral, and we'll go again. We're going to do 3 in each direction. Pulling that rib cage down, rotating as far as you can. Drop the shoulder down to your side, pull that rib cage up, rotating the other direction, dropping the elbow down to the hip, and coming back around in front, back to neutral. We'll do one more. Flexion, rotation, turning those shoulders, drop that shoulder down into lateral flexion, extending up, rotating the other direction, dropping the elbow down to the hip, and coming back around in front. We'll do 3 in the other direction. Pulling that rib cage down, rotating, dropping that shoulder down to your side, extend up, get that rib cage as high as you can before we rotate, dropping the elbow down to the hip, and coming back around in front, back to neutral, and we start again. Flexion, rotation, lateral flexion, extension, trying to get as much range as you can in every movement, rotation, lateral flexion, and back around in front. We have one more, starting with flexion. Rotate those shoulders, drop that shoulder down to your side, pull that rib cage up, rotate the other direction, dropping down to your side, and coming back around in front. Next, we're going to go to Cow Spine Segmentation. For this one, we're going to have the hands directly below the shoulders, knees directly below the hips. We're going to take our spine through extension and flexion. We're going to start from the hips, and we want to create a nice wave up the spine. So, relatively neutral spine. I'm going to rotate my hips down towards the ground in an anterior pelvic tilt. Going to get as much out of those hips as possible, putting my lower back in extension, starting to travel up the spine, creating a nice wave, pushing the rib cage down, pulling the chest up, pulling the chin up, and looking up as high as you can. We're going to pause here and revert, tucking chin, tucking the head, pushing away from the ground, coming up through the upper back, tucking that rib cage in, belly in, and tuck your tail between your legs. That's full flexion, and we're going to reverse, rotating the hips down, putting that lumbar spine in extension, going nice and slow, trying to create a nice wave up and down the spine, pushing the rib cage down, picking that chest up, picking the chin up, looking up as high, and pause, and revert, tucking the chin, tucking the head, pushing away from the ground, tucking the rib cage in, tucking your belly in, and tucking your tail between your legs. We are now in full flexion. We got one more here. Starting with the hips. Nothing else moves, just rotating those hips down. Pushing the belly into the floor now. Then the rib cage. Picking that chest up. Picking the chin up. Looking up as high as you can. and reverse, tucking the chin, tucking the head, pushing away from the ground, tucking the ribs, tucking the belly, and tucking your tail between your legs. Excellent. We're going to stay in this position. We're going to work on spine rotation next. So from this position, we're going to have a hand behind our head. We're going to touch our elbows together, and then we're going to point our elbow to the ceiling, looking up as high as we can. We're going to do 5 in each direction. Sorry, 5 each side. Okay, hand behind the head, bringing the elbows together, pulling that elbow up, pointing it towards the ceiling as you look up, and back down, touching the elbows together, and coming back up, looking up, point that elbow to the ceiling, coming back down. That's 2. We're going to do 5. Slowly coming up, looking up, try to get further every time, and back down. That's 3. Coming up, and down. That's 4. We have 1 more. Elbows touch. Coming back up. Point that elbow up high. Look up. And back down, finishing by touching our elbows. We'll go to the other side. Hand on the back of the head. Starting off by touching our elbows. Coming up. Looking up as high as you can. And down. It's 1. And up. Point the elbow to the ceiling. And down. That's 2. Again. Coming up. Look up at that elbow. That's 3. Back down. And looking up. 4. And 1 more. Look up, up, up. And 5. Excellent. Next, we're going to go to our standing flexions. So standing up. With this one, we're going to put our hands on the back of our head. I'll demonstrate the first rep here. We're going to start off by tucking the chin, tucking the head, tucking the ribs, and coming down as low as we can till we feel a stretch. We'll pause at bottom and then peel our way back up. We'll do 5 of these. Okay, hands behind the head. Here we go. Start off by tucking the chin, tucking your head, tuck the rib cage in, round that spine as much as you can as we come down. Feel a stretch. I want you to put some weight in those toes as we get to bottom. And then we're going to slowly peel back up. And you'll notice you get a little further every rep. Coming back down, tucking the chin, tucking the head, pulling that rib cage in, coming down as low as you feel comfortable, a little bit of weight in the toes, and slowly back up. That's 2. Coming back down, tuck the chin, tuck the head, pull that rib cage in, get as low as you can, pause, and slowly back up. All the way up and back down. Tucking the chin, tucking the head, round that spine, get down low, pause, and slowly back up. We have 1 more. Here we go. Tucking the chin, tucking the head, coming down, pause, and slowly back up. Excellent. Next, we're going to go to our cobra to work on spine extension. We're going to come down into push-up position. From here, we're going to take a deep breath in. We're going to look up. We'll pause at the top and then come back down. We'll do 5 of these. I won't be able to talk during this one, so I'll just let you know when I come back down if you can't see the screen. So from here, take a deep breath in and look up as high as you can. And come down. Exhale. And deep breath in. Look up. And if you want to put a little bit of force into that stretch, you could push into your toes when you get to the top. Deep breath in. Look up. And down. We have 2 more. Deep breath in. Look up. And down. Exhale. We have 1 more. Deep breath in. Coming up. And back down. Excellent. Next, we're going to go back to our kneeling position. Again, if you want to do this sitting on a chair, you can do that. From here, we're going to put our hands on the shoulders and we're just going to work on lateral flexion. So for this, I want you to take a deep breath in and we're going to push that rib cage out as we drop the shoulder down, and we're trying to stretch this whole side here. We're going to do 5 on one side and then 5 on the other. So deep breath in, tilt, push that rib cage out, and back up. Again, deep breath in. Again, really trying to push that rib cage out as you drop the shoulder down. Deep breath in. And back up. Again, deep breath in. And up. 2 more. Deep breath in. And 1 more. Deep breath in. Tilt. And up. We're just going to give you a quick second here, and then we'll do the other side. Hands on the shoulder. Deep breath in. Tilt. Oh, other direction. Tilt. And up. And again. Tilt. Back to neutral. Deep breath in. Push that rib cage out. Back to neutral. Again, deep breath in. Tilt. Back to neutral. And we have 1 more here. Deep breath in. Tilt. And back to neutral. So if you like any of those, if you want to do more, please rewind the video and do another set. You get way more results if you do consecutive sets. But that is it for today's class. Thank you for joining. Thank you for prioritizing your health. Please give it a thumbs up or a like if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you tomorrow.